You have to be shooting in log and you have to be using LUTs, but don't use these LUTs, use these LUTs, use my cinematic LUT, use my vlog LUT. That's all we seem to hear these days is creators pushing their LUTs and people saying you have to be shooting in log and you have to be using LUTs. I agree to an extent. It is good to film in log because it does allow you to be able to get more information out of the lows and the highs. It allows you to do so much more, especially on like really bright sunny days or when you're not able to control all of the things going on outside. But I don't feel like you have to shoot in log just to say that you do it. If you're vlogging a lot, if you're doing silly little YouTube shorts or TikToks and things like that, log, I just don't feel like it helps you all that much. It just adds an extra step to where you're able to take your product and put it out to the masses that much quicker. And then obviously you want to use LUTs. But again, LUTs are something that I feel like they've been pushed to the limit recently. At the end of the day, is it really necessary for you to have these LUTs that just are over the top? Now, again, I realize that when you're using LUTs, you're supposed to put them into an adjustment layer. You're supposed to change some parts of it, you know, drag the highlights here, drag the shadows there. You're supposed to change the blending mode. You're supposed to change the opacity, all these things so that it doesn't look like slap you in the face. Here it is, black and white, super monochrome kind of thing. But I've found a plugin that I feel on the surface is nothing more than a LUT package, but when you really dive into it, it's really so much more. And Dehancer, the people behind the marketing team there, they reached out to me and they're reaching out to a bunch of different creators asking us to test it out and see what our thoughts are. And so I kind of wanted to walk you through it. And after a couple weeks of using this, I think that this is a truly robust and actually usable LUT package that I can see more people probably using than this goofy, just off the wall cinematic stuff that every creator is trying to push. So like I said, on the surface, Dehancer, yes, it's a LUT package, but there's so much more to it. And one of the great things is it's kind of like a lot of those packages or those plugins now where it does work with every program. I'm using Premiere Pro right now, but I'm probably going to be making a switch later in the year. I do know that they have Final Cut and DaVinci Resolve, and there are some other programs that I didn't really recognize. So they have you covered if you're interested in this kind of thing. So real quick, I want to walk you through how you get Dehancer into Premiere Pro. So inside of Premiere Pro, what you do is you go into your project and you have downloaded Dehancer, you've signed up for the plugin, everything is good to go. You type in Dehancer and under Video Effects Film Emulation is Dehancer Pro V1.2. You drag that onto an adjustment layer and then you go into the effect controls. And this is where then you're able to really get the magic going, because one of my favorite things about this is if you go here under the second tab, Film Profile, there are 60 different film profiles that you can use. And they're not just goofy things like Blackbeard or Pirate Ship or Antarctic or anything like that. These are actual film profiles from old true film. You've got Fuji Color, you've got Kodak, Konica Minolta, Lomachrome, just all there are 60 plus profiles that you're able to use. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you how they look. So here are a handful of some of my favorites, and just as a heads up, this is no color correction, this is no brightness contrast, any of that kind of thing. What I did is this is straight log out of my Canon R from a shoot that I did. There is no adjustments to them. I put an adjustment layer over. I slapped Dehancer onto each of these, chose a profile, rendered it, and let it go. Normally you would do things like you would do your color correction, you would do some of your other basic corrections to make sure you bring everything out, bring out the tones that you're looking for. And then the last thing would be putting on your LUT. But I just wanted you to see how these profiles differ straight from Canon C-Log all the way through. So here are some of my favorites. So what is so great about Dehancer? Well, one of the things that I love is some of the LUT packages that I've downloaded in the past are simply, there's nothing that you can really adjust outside of the blend mode and the opacity. A lot of them are locked down to where you can't bring out any reds, you can't do anything like that. Whereas this one, if you look here, there's all kinds of things. There's expand, there's print, there's the color head, film grade. There's just all kinds of different parts that you can do. It's really cool how much control Dehancer gives you to take their look, to take the film look from these old school film colors and then make it your own and apply it the way that you want it to get the look, to get the mood, to get the shot, and to enhance everything. And all of that just makes Dehancer that much more versatile, that much more robust, to where the money you spend on this is much better than buying 30 different LUT packages. Yes, you support the smaller creators when you do that, but again, you don't have this much control at your fingertips. And so it's a lot of fun to see what some creators have done, where they've done Back to the Future style stuff, they've done Western styles. You can just really give your footage a really cool look. Now, my one warning about this, my one caveat of caution that I would say is that there are usually, I think, two versions, even within, whether you're on a Mac or a PC, whether you're in Premiere Pro, there's two versions based off of your graphics card. And my HP Envy here, it really struggled quite a bit with Dehancer at times. So it's one of those where you really need to go through the proper steps. You need to take your footage, cut it up the way that you want it, make sure everything is ready to go as far as cuts. Then do your first layer of adjustments, then do your color adjustments, and then do this. You don't want to be going through everything and having it continually chugging out a new render. It's just best if you go through all the steps properly. That way your computer doesn't do like mine and act like a cinder block sometimes. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you are interested in trying Dehancer out for yourself, I will drop a link in the description. That way you can go check them out for yourselves. Maybe check out some of the other videos that some other people have done. Some people have done some really much more in-depth usage of it. Like I said, making things look like Back to the Future, making it look more cinematic. I just wanted to see how could it be used, and was it feasible for a small sub 2,000 subs creator like myself. And I've been really impressed with it. So feel free to click the link, check them out at your own leisure. Just so you know, I do not get anything if you click, if you buy, if you add, any of that. I'm not an affiliate of theirs. This was just me wanting to try it out and trying a new tool that I think will be really, really fun for some of the projects that I have in mind, if I can just get myself to finally do some of them, because there are not enough hours in the day sometimes. But anyways, that's it for me today. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving it a like. I greatly appreciate it, and I will catch you in another video.